you'd love Seabrook. Everyone does. I mean, what's not to love? The lawns are all perfect, like green carpet. The mailboxes are all painted a nice, friendly white. No one ever speeds. Everyone is smiling. Disputes are calm and cordial. It's nice. Just so nice. My name is Carrie. I'm 29. Or at least I think I am. The calendars say so. I work at the local library. It's a cute, quiet job. I stamp books. I help Mrs. Gable find her mystery novels. And I smile. I smile a lot. I have a kind boyfriend, Ernesto. He's handsome in that perfect, non-threatening way. He sells insurance. We're supposed to get married. It's a perfect life. So why do I wake up every single night, my heart pounding, feeling like I'm suffocating? It's just, things are too perfect, you know? Ernesto always says the exact right comforting thing. Mrs. Gable, my neighbor, always has a fresh-baked pie just when I'm feeling down. Franklin, the waiter at the diner, always knows my order, which is fine, but he also seems to know what I'm going to say before I say it. I thought I was just, I don't know, depressed? Stressed? That's what Ernesto said. You're just stressed, babe. Wedding jitters. But then the glitches started. Little things. Things you'd brush off if you weren't paying attention. And God, I am always paying attention. I was at the library, shelving books. Mrs. Gable came in. "Morning, Carrie," she said, smiling her big, bright smile. "Lovely day for it, isn't it?" "It sure is, Mrs. Gable," I said, smiling back, the polite librarian smile. She went to the history section, like always. 10 minutes later, she came back up to the desk. "Morning, Carrie," she said, same smile. "Lovely day for it, isn't it?" I just stared at her. My hand, the one holding the book stamper, just froze. You just said that, Mrs. Gable." Her smile didn't even flicker. "Oh, did I? Silly me. Getting old." She gave a little laugh, perfectly timed. But her eyes, they were just empty, like glass. Then she just turned and walked out. I told Ernesto about it that night. He laughed. "She's just getting old, babe. You're overthinking it." But I wasn't, because the next day, Franklin the waiter did it. And the day after that, I heard 2 kids in the park have the exact same conversation about a lost dog, twice, word for word. It's not just getting old. It's not a coincidence. It's a script. And I'm the only one who seems to be off book. After the Mrs. Gable incident, I started testing. Little things. I'd put a book on the wrong shelf on purpose. The next morning, it would be back in its right place. I'd forget my keys at the diner. Franklin would have them, but he'd hand them to me before I even realized I'd left them. I felt like I was going crazy. I needed a real test, something that wasn't just a glitch, something that would prove I was in control, or that I wasn't. That's when I thought of the spaghetti. It sounds so stupid, I know, the spaghetti incident, but it was the night that changed everything. It was Tuesday. Tuesday is spaghetti night. Ernesto loves spaghetti. He talks about it all day. It's his favorite. It's part of his, I don't know, his code. So I decided I wasn't going to make spaghetti. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just didn't. I went to the store, the one perfect, clean grocery store, and I bought chicken and rosemary and potatoes. I was going to make roast chicken. I love roast chicken. It smells real. The whole time I was cooking, my heart was hammering. I felt alive. I was doing something real, something I wanted to do. The kitchen smelled like herbs, not just canned tomato sauce. Ernesto came home at 6 p.m., on the dot, like always. "Hey, babe, I'm home," he called out. "Smells different." "Hi, honey," I said, trying to sound casual. "I made roast chicken." He walked into the kitchen, and he just stopped. He stared at the platter on the counter. The chicken was beautiful, golden brown. The potatoes were crispy. He just stared. His face was blank. "This is chicken, Carrie." "I know," I laughed a little nervously. I felt like chicken." He didn't move. His smile was still there, but it was frozen. "I don't understand. It's Tuesday. Tuesday is spaghetti night." "I know. I wanted chicken. Don't you want chicken?" "It's spaghetti night." He wasn't talking to me. He was just stating a fact that had been broken. He looked at the chicken, then at me, then at the empty stove. "Where's the spaghetti, Carrie?" "Ernesto, stop it! There is no spaghetti. I made chicken." His face started to twitch, just a little, at the corner of his eye. "Spaghetti night. I don't. He looked lost, genuinely, terrifyingly lost. And then the knock. I jumped. A loud, solid knock on the front door. Ernesto just kept staring at the chicken, muttering spaghetti. I went to the door. It was Mrs. Gable. She was holding a huge, steaming pot covered in foil. "Oh, Carrie, thank goodness you're home," she said. "I just made way too much spaghetti. I was wondering if you and Ernesto could help me out." I just looked at her, at the pot, at her smiling, empty, correcting face. She wasn't asking. She was telling me. She was fixing my mistake. I broke. I started to laugh, this hysterical, awful sound. Mrs. Gable's smile tightened. "Are you all right, dear? You sound upset." "I'm fine, Mrs. Gable," I said, my voice shaking. "Just fine." I took the pot. It was heavy. I went back to the kitchen, right past Ernesto, and dumped the whole steaming, perfect pot of spaghetti right on top of my beautiful, real rosemary chicken. Ernesto looked at the mess, and he smiled, a real happy smile. "Oh, great," he said, like nothing had happened. "Spaghetti! I was starving." That was the night I knew. I wasn't paranoid. I was a prisoner, and the bars weren't made of steel. They were made of spaghetti and nice neighbors and a perfect, loving boyfriend. It took me a year to plan my escape. A whole year of being the perfect, happy fiancé. After the spaghetti incident, I knew I couldn't make mistakes. No more testing the boundaries, no more roast chicken. I had to be the Carrie they wanted. I apologized to Ernesto, told him I was just stressed. He bought it, or his script did. I had to be the girl who loved spaghetti night, the one who was excited about flower arrangements and seating charts, the one who cried happy tears when we finally set a date. The wedding, my big day. It was the perfect cover. I had to be happy Carrie, but Akana, the real me, the one who was screaming, she was the one making the plans. I became two people, the one they saw and the one who was hiding, watching, calculating. I needed a reason to be places, to snoop. So I volunteered for the town's historical society. Mrs. Gable thought it was a wonderful idea. "So good to see you taking an interest in our town's history, dear." History? That was a laugh. The history in the library only went back 50 years to the town's founding. It was all fake. But the buildings, some of the buildings were real. They were older. They hadn't been scrubbed clean. It was the only live event in Seabrook that used the old town hall. The one building I'd noticed wasn't on the regular maintenance schedule. The library, the diner, my house, they were cleaned every night. I'd left a pencil out of place once. It was back in the cup the next morning. But the town hall, it had real dust. I spent months volunteering, organizing files in the dusty basement. And behind the heavy velvet curtain at the back of the stage, the altar, I found it. A small, square canal, painted to look like the wall. It was old. It had a real metal latch. It wasn't one of their clean, seamless panels. It was a utility hatch. My heart almost stopped. I jimmied the lock just enough, a little every week, with a stolen paperclip. It led to a dark, concrete tunnel. It smelled like damp earth and metal. It smelled real. It was the first real thing I'd smelled since the chicken. The plan was simple. The ceremony ends at 3 p.m. At 3:02 p.m., the automated waste disposal systems for the town square kick in. I'd heard them, a loud, grinding roar that shook the ground. That would be my cover. During the applause, during the kiss the bride moment, I would trip, drop my bouquet, and scramble behind the curtain. 2 minutes. That's all I needed. I'd stay in that tunnel for hours, days. I didn't care. It was out. I practiced every day. The smile, the happy tears, the clumsy trip. I was going to be the perfect bride right up until the moment I wasn't. My father walked me down the aisle. His hand felt like warm plastic. He smelled faintly of the same soap they used in the library. "You look beautiful, sweetheart," he whispered, his voice full of a warmth that didn't reach his eyes. The music was beautiful, I'm sure of it. I couldn't hear a thing. All I could hear was the blood rushing in my ears. The pews were full. Mrs. Gable smiling and dabbing her eyes. Franklin the waiter in a neat little suit. All of them, all the faces from the town, all smiling, all watching. Ernesto was at the altar. He looked so handsome. His eyes were shining with love. It was a perfect performance. I smiled. I'd practiced this smile. The radiant bride. My face ached. "Dearly beloved," the officiant began. His voice was rich and kind. I'd heard it before. He was the voice on the town's radio station. The whole thing was a blur. I said my lines, "to have and to hold." He said his lines, "my one true love." It was all just script. My eyes were locked on him, but my mind was on the curtain behind him, on the cold metal latch. "You may now kiss the bride," the officiant said. Ernesto leaned in. His lips were warm. The applause started right on cue, that perfect looping sound of a happy crowd. It was the same sound file they used for the 4th of July picnic. This was it. As he pulled me in, I stumbled, just as I'd practiced. "Oh, my flowers!" I gasped. I let them fall, bending low, and in one move, I scrambled past the officiant and lunged for the curtain. I heard Ernesto say, "Carrie," but his voice was distant. I pushed the heavy velvet aside. My hand hit the wall. It was solid. I clawed at it, the panel, the hatch. It wasn't there. It was just plaster. Smooth, seamless, perfectly painted plaster. They'd fixed it. They'd re-plastered it. The music stopped. Not faded out. It just cut. The applause died with it. Dead silence. The kind of silence that pulls all the air out of a room. I turned around, my white dress tangled around me. Everyone was standing. My father, my mother, Mrs. Gable, Franklin the waiter, every guest in every pew, and Ernesto, all of them, perfectly still. Their happy wedding smiles were still on their faces, but their eyes were glass. They were all looking at me. That was a very, very expensive set piece, Carrie. The voice boomed from everywhere. It was deep, a little tired. A new screen, one I'd never seen, flickered to life above the altar. It was a man's face, older, with thin glasses and an impatient look. Ju-Wan. We couldn't just leave a live exit hatch on the main stage. Think of the insurance. My throat closed. You knew? Of course we knew, Ju-Wan sighed, like he was talking to a child. We wrote it. The escape arc. It's been the whole season. Honestly, the ratings have been staggering. The historical society subplot? Chef's kiss. Brilliant. The audience loves it when you think you're getting one over on us. Is this the one? Will she make it? He leaned closer to his camera. You have to understand, Carrie. The original show, it was getting stale. Happy girl in a perfect town. It's boring. But this? A woman who knows she's in a cage? A woman who thinks she's fighting back, planning, hoping? That is the most authentic human drama we have ever captured. All my hope, my year of planning, my one secret, genuine thing. It was just a plot point. My knees gave out. I just sank to the floor, my wedding dress pulling around me. I wasn't fighting for my life. I was just the main attraction in a zoo. Well, Ju-Wan said, clapping his hands together, this wedding arc is officially over. And frankly, the audience is a little tired of Ernesto. He's run his course, don't you think? Time for a new storyline, something fresh. At the altar, Ernesto woke up. He looked at me, his face full of nothing, that awful, empty, doll-like void. I can't, he said, his voice flat. I'm sorry, Carrie. I just can't do this. And he turned and he walked, not fast, not slow, right down the aisle and out the front doors of the church. He didn't even look at me. He just clocked out. The guests all unfroze at once, gasping, "Oh my, did you see that?" My mother rushed up to me, pulling me into a hug, her hand patting her back in a perfect rhythmic loop. "Oh, Carrie, honey," she whispered, her voice full of perfectly scripted sympathy. "What a terrible, terrible, dramatic day." That was 6 weeks ago. I'm back at the library. The jilted bride arc is over. Now I'm in the healing arc. It's quiet. They've put me on a low simmer storyline while they write the next big thing. I'm stamping books. The sun is shining. Mrs. Gable is in her corner reading her mysteries. It's all exactly the same. They don't even bother to hide the whirring of the cameras anymore. I hear them all day. A little zzzt from the history section, a click whir from the ceiling, focusing, adjusting. They know I know. They don't care. It's part of the drama now, the tragic heroine. The bell above the library door jingles. I look up. He's new. I've never seen him before. He's tall, with kind eyes and a slightly shy smile. He's perfect. His flannel shirt is just perfectly rumpled. He's the wounded carpenter or the sensitive poet type. The audience will love him. He walks up to the desk, browsing the new releases. He's a terrible actor. His browsing is so fake, so staged. "Excuse me," he says. His voice is warm. "I'm new in town. I was wondering if you could recommend something." I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to blush. I'm supposed to look up, startled. I'm supposed to feel that spark. I'm supposed to start the new romance storyline. I look at this stranger, this actor, this new prop, and I know my real, genuine self is gone. That girl who loved roast chicken, the one who loved the smell of real dust and damp earth, the one who was authentic, she died on that stage in that wedding dress. My deepest fear wasn't being trapped. It was that I'd forget how to be real, that I'd become the performance. And I have. My face hurts, but I pull the muscles into the right shape. I give him the shy, hopeful librarian smile. It's a good one. I've been practicing in the mirror. "Welcome to Seabrook," I say, my voice just a little breathless. "I think I have just the thing."
There are more scares to share. Press the like button and subscribe so you don't miss a single terrifying moment. You're helping me investigate the deepest, darkest corners to bring you stories that haunt your dreams.